All right, this is video one. So just like any journey, this is the first step for you, and it is also kind of for me because this is the first video that I'm making you or anyone who's watching this about how to prepare or even maybe understand income taxes. So that's the method I'm going to use for doing this is I'm going to talk to you here. I will maybe have some visual examples, but I also have my computer here, and I'm going to do screen capturing at the same time using the software, the tax software, so you can get a real idea of what you're going to be looking at from day to day if you use this particular software. Now, I think first it'd be useful just to go over maybe the most basic thing, which is what is an income tax, and why do we have to do this? So income taxes, as is evident by the name, is taxes on income. But income can be a great many things. It is obviously what you earn at your job. It could be interest earned on savings accounts or a money market account or a checking account. It's also, if you own stocks, receive dividends on those stocks. If you sell those stocks, that would be income. Rental income, if you had property that you rented to somebody and received money from them, that would also be income. If you were retired and collected a pension or Social Security. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, Social Security is not taxable. Well, it may not be, but it is still income. Whether or not it's taxed is something that you figure out when you prepare the income tax. Other things could be unemployment compensation, gambling winnings, if you're so lucky, and the list goes on. There's going to be plenty of videos just covering income. There'll be plenty of videos covering deductions too, and adjustments to income and so forth. But I guess the purpose here is just to tell you what it is, and maybe even just to go over kind of quickly the most basic forms you're going to be using, which would be one, the 1040, which is the tax form, which is where you report your income to the government and you figure out how much you have to pay them or how much you get back from them at the end of the year. The other form is the Form W-2, which is the form that your employer provides you sometime between the second week of January and February 1st, which shows you how much money you made, how much of that money they withheld and gave to the federal government on your behalf to cover your income taxes, and also how much money they gave to, let's say, New York State, to cover your New York State taxes. There could be other things on there, including any money that you contributed to a retirement plan on your behalf. A few other things, but I'm not going to get too much into detail, but I guess what I would say is when you're using the tax software, maybe I'll just pop up one screenshot showing you what a W-2 looks like and what the computer program looks like where you're going to enter this information. And thankfully the computer does all the math for you. And it really doesn't write the tax for you. You have to know what goes where, what's taxable, what even gets entered on the tax return. But the computer will take care of math problems as long as you enter the figures right, which is important. You enter them once, you look at them a second time, make sure they're correct, and then a third time after you're done with the tax, you go over it and look at all your figures again. In my experience, if you do it 3 times, you are not going to make zero mistakes. If you do it twice, you'll make 1 or 2 mistakes a year. If you only do it once, you'll make a lot. You'll definitely be making a lot of tough phone calls to your clients. So once is not good, twice is not good, 3 times, you're going to be solid. So what you're going to see is, assuming you're looking at it right now, is all these lines in the computer software represent a box on the W-2, and they're all numbered. So the number on the computer software corresponds directly to the number on the Form W-2 that you will have received from your client, or that you receive from your employer if you're doing your own taxes. You replicate all these boxes precisely all the way through. The tax software will always round, so if you want to round in advance, go ahead. But if you like putting in the decimal point, let the computer round, that's fine. Whatever's quickest for you. And then once you're done with that, you'll go on to other income forms. W-2 is an income form. You go on to interest forms, dividend forms, and so forth. The one thing I want you to check on every form ever is the year. Because lots of times a customer will hand you a form that's from a previous year. It happens particularly a lot when they're giving you real estate taxes. There's a reason for that. I may get to explaining that at some point. But even sometimes W-2s or interest statements. So be very careful. Always make sure it's the right year. Always make sure it's in their name. It's their name and social security number. Some people will hand you an interest statement for one of their kids' bank accounts. Well, it's not taxable to them. Well, in most cases, it's not taxable to them. That is going to be handled a little differently, but just make sure either the taxpayer's social security number and name or the taxpayer's spouse social security number and name. And then you know you're good. So I think that's probably enough to get started. Excuse me. Take a look at the printed materials, if there's printed materials, and hit me up with any questions on this. But again, pretty straightforward. We will talk in session 2, which I'll talk about maybe interest and dividends and some other types of income, because that's pretty easy. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.